Al Ewing and Juan Frigeri usher in a new era for the Guardians of the Galaxy as the now superhero-focused group take on a monstrous progenitor horde as well as a Skrull fire cult, knowing both may be tied to a very unlikely Earthling who has overstepped his reach. Al Ewing does a great job pretty much resetting the clock here and beginning a new era for the team, making it a perfect jumping on point for newer readers or readers who have just finished the recent Empire event and want more stuff like that. I enjoyed that as someone who only has the basic rundown on what happened during the last arc of the book, I never felt lost here. Things were explained well, but the book mostly focused on the new status quo, which is the team is now superheroes, which I wholeheartedly welcome. I like that the team are all working together and really feel like a cosmic Justice League or Avengers of sorts, and how it's tied back into Empire with Hulkling and his alliance being involved pretty heavily with the teams, helping build up more of the cosmic stuff Empire set out, especially with the Fire Cult, being that their whole reasoning is that they feel like they were left behind when the alliance took over and kind of upended the whole galactic economy and everything about the galactic. It was even great seeing stuff from the Royals series with the inclusion of the progenitors, which was a very welcome addition on my end. Juan Frigeri brings the cool space action with his artwork as well as some slick new quote-unquote superhero designs for the Guardians, with all matching leather jackets and coats. The only thing I didn't like was Star-Lord's costume, since the leather jacket bare chest look kinda screams early 90s and doesn't really make much sense for a spacefaring hero. Apart from that, I enjoyed the action the man drew and the weird alien creatures like the progenitors. Guardians of the Galaxy issue 13 was a pretty great jumping on point for new or returning readers who are interested in seeing a more superhero-leaning Guardians team. I like the connective tissue to series like Empire and Royals, and I'm looking forward to seeing the new and exciting members that will join the team and be brought in throughout this arc. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. Guardians of the Galaxy issue 13 heads to Throne World 2, capital of the Kree Skrull Empire, which is currently being evacuated by the Emperor Hulkling thanks to the progenitors making planetfall. The giant beings land on the planet, destroying huge sections of the cities, grabbing the people for their science experiments and mutating them with their primogen gas before moving on. Hulkling continues to order the evac, saying that he and Wiccan are on the way and they are bringing help. At the Proskenium, Super Skrull directs Nova towards the progenitors, but the man knows that he won't move an inch since they don't take orders from the Galactic Council, since they aren't cops anymore. They're superheroes guarding the galaxy. Kl'rt notices he's already halfway to Hala, and Richard says that it was an 8x8 call, and Peter and the others are meeting him en route, hoping Kl'rt will keep him updated on the newly discovered Rimworld. On the Rimworld codenamed Cauldron, Fire Lavelle and the Guardians team look over the new world, with Marvel Boy thinking this job is beneath them. Quasar agrees, and it's possible that the surveyors they are searching for had comm issues. Drax, however, smells something, leading the team to a horrible scene of death and decay, having found the survey team staked into the ground and burned alive. Marvel Boy knows that this is not the locals who did this like Drax thinks, since the writing on the stakes is Skrullian. Kl'rt meanwhile contacts the team, telling them of the language they found and how it is a phrase that says believe in flame, and it could be any number of the fire cults in Skrull history. Soon he gets a call from Wiccan, and he tells the boy that they might need his help, since there is potential magical problems afoot on the Rimworld. Wiccan, however, has his own problems as he and Hulkling battle the progenitors. Hulkling manages to take down one of the beings with the space sword, telling Wiccan that the sword is a fuse of magic and tech, and is blended inside of it. A progenitor catches them off guard, gassing Hulkling and mutating him into a beast, forcing Wiccan to cover him in a shield and try and extract the poison. The Guardians of the Galaxy soon arrive, joining the battle and taking the fight to the napalm-spewing progenitors, which Gamora and Rocket blow apart easily. Gamora is impressed with the strength of Rocket's guns, but Rocket knows that the progenitors will adapt, so they gotta switch up tactics, calling in Groot, who grows in size and battles one of the progenitors. The progenitor begins to strangle Groot, so Peter gets ready to shoot, but Rocket stops him since he doesn't have a clear shot and will hit Groot. But Quill is aiming for Groot, reminding Rocket that he is Star-Lord, master of the 4 elements, and he's going to hit Groot with a sunlight, soil, water, and air blast, which causes him to grow stronger, allowing him to stab the progenitor and blow it apart from within. The final progenitor knows that this is a severe threat as Moondragon does a deep scan on the being, knowing that it's afraid as Nova, grabbing its floating head, pulls it free and throws it into space. The body soon falls apart, and in space, Richard talks with the head, saying that he's got a message for the progenitor's superiors, telling it that sentient beings aren't resources for them to plunder or experiment on, and the galaxy is guarded now. The being gets the message, so Nova blasts it into the farthest reaches of space. Nova confirms the Guardians are victorious, but Kl'rt is only interested in what happened to the Emperor. On the ground, Hulkling is put back to his normal state, with the mutagen purged from his system by Wiccan. Gamora says it's funny how easily purging what you don't want can be, with Peter knowing that she's still mad at him. Gamora says that whether it be running from their bed to a suicide mission or being marooned in another dimension, this is who Peter is, or who he was, since he changed when he came back. But that's not the problem, it's the distance he's had to them since he came back. But she doesn't know if he even did, missing the old Peter Quill. She leans in close to kiss Peter, but Peter pulls back, knowing that he is distant and he still is out in the dimension on Mornius, and part of him will always be there, since he had a home built there for him, and a son. Nova is shocked by that revelation as much as Gamora is, while Peter leaves, saying that he needs more time alone. Later on, Nova ponders the thought of Peter's son as Phyla-Vell contacts him. The woman says that they track the prehistoric fire cult, knowing they murdered the survey team, but she knows this is more of a spy's job, not a superhero's job. Quasar gets the hint, saying if Phyla-Vell needs her, she only needs to ask. Phyla says that she shouldn't have to, since he should know which Quasar the situation calls for. Wendell bangs his bands together, switching out to Avril Kincaid, who is happy to be released from the exile she finds herself in whenever Wendell takes control, saying the man goes to the exact same place when they change. Avril knows that they needed a spy, and Drax knows that she was once a SHIELD agent, so she needs to sneak into the giant cult gathering below. Below them, the leader of the Brethren of the Forgotten Flame gathers her brothers and sisters, saying all are welcome in the secret fire, and she sees all who have consecrated themselves for the Elder Gods. She knows that they are there because they think everything will collapse and their credits are now worthless, and because their great empires fell. The people are goaded into a frenzy, conjuring up their powers that the woman and the cult offer them, since they will burn the galaxy and the universe and melt it and shape it until it is their weapon. The woman says that this will happen soon as they move closer to the ancient stars aligning, with the hidden constellation revealing itself and revealing the sacred sign of He Who Waits. Marvel Boy knows that Drax was right about not wanting to be seen, as Nova gets word of the cult, wanting to send in backup once they are finished there. Moondragon meanwhile tries to probe the mind of one of the dead progenitors, and it being dead makes it harder, but not impossible. She taps into its mind, finding that the group came to Hala because of the Alliance and the potential for a new factor to study, but they haven't studied the Kree for millennia, so how would they know about this? Wiccan realizes that Moondragon is implying that the progenitors were told about them, and Rocket wonders who could even rat out the Alliance to someone. Nova knows that this isn't like someone sending a text, and Hulkling thinks that this is an actual act of war. Suddenly they hear a boom as a voice from the skies says it has to be war. They soon see someone descend from the storm as the being attacks, blasting Wiccan, Hulkling, Nova and Peter as the rest of the Guardians launch an assault. The being easily defeats them, saying that he has earned the right to lay claim to the light and the void, and he has mastered all arts and sciences and secrets, and his tech and magic can scramble even alpha telepaths like Moondragon. Moondragon is overcome with pain as the being picks up the Star Sword from Hulkling, saying no one would dare say he hasn't earned this right. Yet he is only a king of a simple nation on a simple planet. He says that the only title he ever claimed is Doctor, as the being is revealed to be Dr. Doom, who descends from the storm to confront the defeated Guardians of the Galaxy.